Never fails, never fails.
It
Never
never fails.
fails.
Welcome everybody to Carolina Retirement Planners Happy Half Hour. We come to you live every week at 4:30 on our Facebook page to bring you some fun and some tips and tricks or something interesting about the financial world. I am Sam Shukavage, and with me is my father, the president and founder of Carolina Retirement Planners, David Shukavage. Hey, Dad.
Hey, Sam.
You're looking well today.
I'm feeling well. I'm feeling well.
Excellent, excellent. And if many people don't know this, but it is my mom's birthday tomorrow. And for her birthday, my dad, on a whim, decided to whisk her up to New York City to see my sister, their other daughter, and have a good time, seeing shows and bouncing around. So after we're done with this, he's going to the airport and taking his wife on a beautiful vacation. Dad,
That's
I'm
right. Weather's going to be
y'all.
reasonably good in the Big Apple too. So we
Yeah,
intend to have a
Love
good
it.
time. Good
Love
time.
it, love it.
Yeah. Also with us today is the lovely Ms. Amy Dureski, our Director of Client Fun. Hey, Amy.
Hello. How are you? Look, I've been here too long. My hair's crazy. Hi.
It happens. It happens. It's the end of the day, right?
Yeah. It's like, and I don't have like a mirror in front of me or anything So hello. How are you?
Yeah. Doing very well. Good to see
And,
you.
and in case you're wondering, we always like to start by saying a couple of things. One is today we are going to talk about both tax history and tax humor, since we are so close to that fateful day of filing your taxes. We're going to bring together the humor and the history. And I've got some historical viewpoints you may not at all be aware of. I wasn't aware of. So stick around. That will be fun. But what else do we do first? What else? And oh, by the way, if you're, we'll post our number. If later you'd like to get in touch with us, we'll give you a number where you can call and book a time to chat if you need be. If you're, especially those you may be joining us for the first time, we'll give you a way you can get in touch with our office. So, okay, Sam, what's next?
Well, also, if this is one of your first times joining us, feel free to type hi into the chat. We don't know you're here unless you say hi. So we'd love to hear, hear that you're here. And we also always talk about what day it is. So every day of the year is some kind of crazy holiday. And what have we chosen to talk about today, Amy?
Oh, okay. Today is a good one. Today we are talking about French fries, but more specifically, cheddar fries. So if you're a fan or not a fan, yeah. And then I asked everybody how they enjoy their French fries. What do they dip them in? What do they top them with? And all that good stuff. So yeah. How do you guys like your French fries?
Probably most important to wash them down with beer, right?
Yes, or wine if you win some wine. I mean, either way. Yeah, I agree. Definitely. Ketchup one, but yeah.
Yeah, I am ranch, mayo, or a mayo ketchup blend are my top fried choices. Little honey mustard here and there, never hurt anybody. What about you, Dad? I know that you may not be enjoying as many fries these days.
Well, since I got a continuous glucose monitor, I find that potatoes along with bread do not treat my blood sugar very well. So, but I could probably be ketchup is probably my go-to, but I enjoy mayonnaise too. Don't know if I've really gone through the trouble to blend them both. I probably go back and forth, the yin, the yang.
Oh yeah. I like mixing everything together. I'm like, well, what did all these things taste like together? It's pretty fun.
I agree. My dad used to dip them in gravy, and I like that, but it's hard to find. You don't really, go somewhere and you can't go to McDonald's and get a side of gravy. It's not really an option.
Yeah.
But, I want to kind of say hi to some of the folks that have joined us.
Absolutely.
Miranda is with us. Skip, it is good to see you once again. Robert has joined us as usual.
Hey,
Bruce
Bob.
too. Uh, and Teresa is here. She sounds, our
Hi,
regular.
Mom. Hi, Mom.
Fred, it's good to see you have joined us. Dan and Barb are back in the mountains and checking in with us from Murphy. And we have Lynn joining us. Jay and his wife are here, and David.
Dave
Who
and
else, Sam?
And we have Barbara, and my husband Neil is joining us today. Hey, that's unusual, but hey, boo. And if anyone does not know, my husband is the head brewer at Waterline Brewing. It's right under the bridge between Leland and Wilmington. They're awesome. Go check them out if you enjoy beer. They have lots of food trucks, music, events. It's a great spot to go hang out at, especially on days like today. And then and Jameson is here
Look
with
who's here with me.
Jameson.
Yeah, it's popping in. So we just had to pop on and
Hey,
say
everybody.
hi.
Hey, Jameson. And Bob tells us that he prefers cheddar fries topped with chili, which I would never turn away. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Dad, do you want to go ahead and get into it?
Yeah, we should start. We should start. We get click on the right things here to get it going. And today, I thought it being tax time, since by now we should have, with a sigh of relief, have gotten our taxes filed. I think with tax comes humor and history. And we're going to look at a couple of those. So I'm going to start with this. Sam, do you know what this is a picture of?
I would imagine it's the Boston Tea Party.
Yeah, that seems to be
Yeah.
what it is, and that is exactly what it is. But let me ask you, and Amy too, do you know why the our founding fathers really protested the tea and threw the England's tea overboard in the Boston Harbor? What were they protesting?
I thought I don't know the
Taxes.
answer, but I thought that they were protesting taxes. I thought it was
Yeah, right.
I thought,
Like
you know,
no taxes
And
without
what were
representation.
what were they protesting about those taxes?
No representation, correct? Is that
Yeah,
right?
but what else?
that they were too high.
Yeah, they thought the taxes
What I
were too
thought.
high. Well, I did some digging, and I won't try to read. I'll kind of go over this quickly, but uh, the England was exporting tea there. In fact, apparently, our founding fathers drank like 1.2 million pounds of tea each year. But then they realized they can make more money with with this high tea. It encouraged Americans to bootleg and smuggle in tea from the Dutch area, from the Dutch and other areas, and undercut the British and their taxes. So in 1767, Parliament passed the Indemnity Act, which repealed the tax on tea. So and made the British tea the same price as the Dutch tea. That actually encouraged our founding fathers to protest and throw the tea in the harbor. They came up with the idea that it was more an idea that England was trying to win us over by cutting our tax on tea, but it actually undercut their profit. So that's what was apparently the real cause of it. You can do some Google and you'll find the same thing, that our founding fathers threw the tea in the water because they basically cut taxes, didn't raise taxes.
That
So
was definitely not what I was taught in school.
I wasn't
Me
either, but
neither. Yeah, no.
History is is often funny. Art Buchwald said, "Tax reform is is when you take the taxes off things that have been taxed, and then put the taxes on things that haven't yet been taxed before." So I like that as a case. Now, Sam, we didn't have a tax in this country, an income tax, till well, really till 1913. How do
Mhm.
we raise our money? Anybody know? Do you know, Amy?
How we raise money before taxes?
Before income taxes.
I thought they just went house to house.
I'm gonna go with excise tax.
Very good. Excise taxes.
Ah,
Excise taxes are levied on the on goods. 1791 was a very profound day. It was is the day we initiated our first excise tax. Can you guess what that tax was on? And maybe this will give you
beer. I was
hint.
gonna say beer. Is it beer?
No, not beer.
Liquor.
Whiskey? Liquor?
Whiskey, corn whiskey.
Ah, whiskey.
It turned out that, corn is a nice commodity, and Pennsylvania, especially Western Pennsylvania, raised a lot of corn, but it's a bulky thing, to cart it around, travel it across the country to sell it is just not practical. However, if you convert it by distilling it down to its essence and fermenting it a bit, you get corn liquor, which is very valuable and very compact. And in 1791, they initiated the first tax. And in fact, it led to a war. The growers, especially in Pennsylvania, rose up against the government, said, "I can't take this tax anymore." And Washington himself led an army to put that rebellion down. It was like whiskey rebellion. It's another thing you can Google, but our first tax goes back to taxing whiskey. And we still have taxes on our various things. They often call them sin taxes. We love to tax things that are considered a sin. And I thought I'd dig into a little bit more. What are the taxes on some of our favorite sins, and how do they differ around the country? And of course, some of us, myself included, enjoy a nice Manhattan now and then, and many of us enjoy having some wine. You a wine lover, Sam?
I certainly am.
And many of us, myself among them, have been known to quaff beer. And golly, I hope there's not too many left, but some people are, you use cigarettes. So let's go take a look at some of how states raise income by taxing these. We'll start here with liquor. This state here is the one with the lowest tax on liquor. Do you know, anybody guess what that state is from the shape of it?
Missouri. Jameson said it before I was even able to get on. Look at this guy.
That's Missouri. However you spell it, something like this. And in Missouri, each gallon of liquor, you pay a tax of 12 cents. You know what state this is?
Washington.
This is Washington. Washington has a tax of $35 no, I got that wrong. I'm sorry, I gave you the wrong information. Missouri here, I'm looking at the wrong. Missouri is $2 a gallon. And Washington is $35 a gallon. It is a 17x difference. In other words, the tax in Washington is 17 times higher than the tax in Missouri.
Don't go bar hopping in Washington.
Yeah, so if you love hard liquor and you want to go out and have a good time and pay the least tax, I suggest Missouri. When I show you later what the other thing Missouri pays the least tax on is cigarettes, as we'll see. I don't know, Missouri, I guess they don't like to tax their vices. You know, sin is not as taxable there. I don't know. But anyway, that'd be sort of interesting. So don't go for a good binge in Washington. It'll cost too much. How about Sam? You're a wine lover, I know, right?
Yes.
These two states, we know. I don't have to ask you. This one is Texas, and this one is California. If you're buying wine, the price per gallon, the tax per gallon of wine in both Texas and California are tied at 20 cents a gallon. Oops, how did that happen? So they're 20 cents a gallon. You know what state this is?
Virginia, right?
No,
Oh my gosh.
it's Kentucky.
Oh yeah. Yep. I knew that.
And in Kentucky, they charge $3.25 per gallon. So there, it's a 16-fold difference. The tax is 16 times higher in Kentucky than in Texas or California.
Do you think that's because they want you to drink their bourbon in Kentucky and not the wine? Is that?
Well, it could be.
I
It
don't know.
could be. You know, I didn't rank where they are in the bourbon tax, but they're not the lowest because Missouri has that. You know. Now, I have myself often drank too much beer, and do you know what state this is? The lowest cost state in the country. It's a little harder with this one.
I'm honestly
I'm
at a
not going to
loss.
embarrass myself anymore.
Yeah, I'm
It is-
ashamed. I mean, that's got to
This
be
is
somewhere in the
Wyoming.
middle. I was like the
This
middle
is-
of America. Where's that?
This is the great state of Wyoming. Wyoming charges 2 cents per gallon of beer. This state, do you know which one this is? A little easier to guess, I think. This is Tennessee. In Tennessee,
That's what I thought. I just didn't want to be wrong.
I'm with you. I'm like,
I like how Miranda's about Wyoming. She's like square state.
yeah,
Yeah.
right?
He's got it. Square all the way around. When Tennessee, beer is the price. The tax on beer is $1.29. And if you do the math, 2 cents versus 129 cents, you end up with a whopping 64x difference between the cheapest state, the least taxed state, and the biggest state. And I hope there aren't many of you out there that are still smokers, but in terms of smoking, once again, Missouri wins the award for the least. They're 12 cents. I'll just do 12 cents. They're 12 cents per pack. And we all know that state, that's the great state of New York. They're $4.35 per pack. And that's a 21x difference. So again, it's just sort of strange why Missouri whiskey and cigarettes is cheap, you know.
Yeah.
That has me going. Okay, one difference between death and taxes is that death doesn't get worse every time Congress meets. And this one, if you can read it, I use this in classes a lot. This is the IRS Research and Development Center. And he's saying, blood from a stone, this is it, Wendell, the breakthrough we've been waiting for.
I like it.
Some taxpayers close their eyes, some stop their ears, some shut their mouths, but all pay through the nose.
This
And
is a little cathartic.
Will Rogers says the
after
income
filing my
tax.
taxes.
Yeah, Will Rogers said the income tax has made more liars out of the American people than golf has. So now I'll just stop here for just a second. They got this chat GDP now. They got this thing you go in and you type in something and it comes up with stuff for you. I went
Wow,
in, I
Dad, look
said,
at you.
tell me some good tax jokes. And this is what they come up with. I'll just read a couple. And the first one is, why was the math book sad during tax season? Because it had too many problems.
Okay.
Or,
These are so cheesy.
down here, 6, why was the tax auditor always calm during tax season? Because they had auditation techniques. I mean, I think the chat GDP better keep its day job, because so far writing jokes is not really going to be a winner, But I thought I'd kind of share this, what happens when you ask for good tax jokes from a.
I'm digging this. This is
This is
I'm like
good.
in a fever dream or something.
Why did the taxpayer refuse to play cards during the tax system? Because they were afraid of getting a full house. Anyway.
Oh, here. Why? Well, this is close. This is the closest one. It's almost there. Why did the tax collector take up gardening during tax season? Because they wanted to grow their income. That's so close.
Oh, okay. This one isn't a joke, but I want to share it with you because if those of you who have been to our classes understand why. There are two systems of taxation in our country, one for the informed and one for the uninformed. Both are legal. And this was by a judge named Learned Hand. What a name. And he served from 1924 to 61. He was sort of the Will Rogers of the justice system. He said a lot of neat things, but this is one that hopefully many of you understand the things we've been talking about forever, conversions, Ross, and things like that.
I have not seen a picture of Learned Hand yet.
Well, that's his
I've
picture.
seen this. I mean, that is a serious guy. He's definitely of the informed.
Yeah. And then and William Simon was the Secretary of the Treasury, I think, under Reagan. He said the nation should have a tax system that looks like someone designed it on purpose.
Now,
Now,
I have heard that the IRS has admitted how nonsensical the tax system is, because it just keeps being built upon rather than.
Well, the IRS didn't build it; Congress built it. But anyway,
there's been like comments in something like, well, you would think it makes sense, but it doesn't, and that's how it is.
We did not. A little history. We did not have an income tax. We actually had an income tax briefly during the Civil War. It collected about 20% of the money to support the war. The other 80% came from bonds and printing money. That's what I've heard on some of the podcasts. And then we started in the late 1890s, but then it was proven unconstitutional and it shut down. So we are back to excise and import taxes. What does the number 16 mean? Anybody know? You know that, Sam?
It's it's when a teenager can drive legally.
No. It's the 16th Amendment. The 16th Amendment.
That was a big year for me.
16th Amendment was when we said the federal government can tax people. And this is a history of tax rates throughout the years. The red is the highest tax rate if you own lots of money. So when it started here in back in about 1913, it was like 6%. That was the most they could tax you. If you earned lots of money, they taxed you at 16%. Later, it jumped up in World War I to over 70. Then in World War II, it went as high as 94%. Reagan was making pictures here in the 50s. He hated taxes because he made a lot of money, and he encouraged the tax drops, though he didn't really cut spending, and we see where we are. But this is sort of the history. The line on the bottom is the where you are if you were making the least amount of money you could make and pay taxes. But you know, and we only, I just want to finish it up pretty quick because we're running out of time.
Well, I like one of the points you make is that people complain about high tax rates, but then when you look historically, they have been much higher.
They have been much higher. And
When
actually,
I saw this the first time, it surprised me.
For what it's worth, to digress, when we did this, um, our deficit, how much we owe, to our GDP, how much we make ratio was about 125%. And when we got it right about here, when Reagan came in, we got it down, I think something like 30%. We're now back up to 125%. We're as in debt as we were there. We cured it then with a long period of high taxes. I don't know what's going to happen now. But if you think this is bad, you know who this is? This, you don't see pictures of them fishing very often.
I wish I could. I
That's
feel like
Franklin Delano Roosevelt. That's Franklin or Delano Roosevelt.
There's that game, that show, Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? And I feel like I'm playing it right now and losing to the fifth grader.
Well, I am right there with you.
For what it is, FDR in 1942, he proposed that if you earned over $25,000 a year, which is equivalent to about $350,000 now, your tax rate went to 100%.
Whoa!
Basically, to finance the war equitably, he said nobody should earn more than $350,000 in today's dollars. If you earn more than that, we're going to tax it at 100%. And just Eugene Grace, who was a steel executive, he actually made $522,000 then, equivalent to about $8 million today in his salary. How do you think he felt about that? It didn't fly. He tried, from the history, he tried several things with bills and all, but they crushed it. But of course, you're at 94%, so what's the difference? You know? But that's sort of an interesting other piece of history. And if that was good, if you enjoyed that, you know, here is how you can get in touch with us. Our website has lots of stuff. You can call that number and get in. And as usual, we have a giveaway. This one is, are you paying too much in taxes in your retirement? And if you, Amy will tell you how you can get this mailed to your very door. How do they do that, Amy?
All they need to do is send an email to Mary@carolinarp.com, and she will send one out to you.
Okay. Sam, what's our finale at our normal happy half hour?
It's our wine drawing. So each week we give away 2 bottles of wine delivered directly to your door from Fermental Bottle Shop. They are newly located in the Cargo District downtown. That area is just popping off with all kinds of cool things, and Fermental is no exception. You can buy wine or beer, take it home. You can go there, enjoy it at their really cool spot and drink it there. Go get some cheese smith to get a nice grilled cheese while you're hanging out there. But you don't have to do any of that. If you win the wine, we will ship it directly to your door. And to enter this drawing, all you have to do is, if you are on Facebook, each week we'll put up a little thing saying what our topic is, and you click I'm attending that, and you'll get in here. And if you share that with a friend, then you'll get another entry in here. And if you're on our email listserv, each week we'll let you know what our topic is as well. And you just respond to that email and tell us how you prefer to eat your fries or whatever it may be, or just say, enter me into the wine drawing. And we will get you in here too. And you could do both, and we would get you in here multiple times. So our winner this week of 2 bottles of wine delivered directly to their door is Lynn G.
Lynn G, congratulations.
Congratulations, Lynn.
Congratulations,
you are our wine winner
Lynn.
this week.
What is our topic next week, Amy?
Ooh, this is a special one. And how about we have Sam doing a whole big thing about organizing your documents since tax season's over. It's time to get organized. And yeah.
It's
Oh, good.
you're probably inundated with papers and wondering, what do I keep? How do I store this? Why are there so many things? What can I get rid of?
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about that next week.
And a reminder, if you want to see this again or send a friend to watch this, if they go to carolinaretirementplanners.com under events, how many we got? 130 some?
This today is 138. Whoa.
All 138 of our happy half hours are there, and you can have them watch this one themselves if they're a historian interested in interesting tax history and humor. So along with the other good stuff. So
yeah, it is. It's a good one. So yeah, next week
Right,
we do, and then we have a special guest in a couple weeks, but we're going to keep that a secret until next week.
Oh, that's
Have
a
to
good
stay
one.
tuned. Yeah.
If you care about your sanity, you don't want to miss that one.
Mhm.
So
We'll reveal the info next week.
yeah, okay. So it is 5:01. We have ended this like right on time. With that, I wish everybody a great week and a great weekend. And we will
Yeah.
be back with you next week for the next happy half hour.
Sounds good. Have a great weekend. Have a
Great
safe
weekend.
trip.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, have
Bye-bye.
fun in New York, Dad.
Yeah, have fun. Bye.
I will.
Bye, guys.